universe is not alone. It is but one of infinite worlds, each an altered version of the others. From the beginning of time, they have existed apart. This is the day they collide.
Citizens are urged to seek shelter immediately.
An Amazonian princess fathered by Zeus, Wonder Woman's skill and might know no bounds. Wonder Woman's powerful melee abilities, tanking, and support for her team allow her to take over the battlefield and subdue her opponents. Her passive is Child of Olympus, regenerating a significant amount of HP when her life drops below 25%. Lasso Grab launches her golden lasso, stunning her opponent as Wonder Woman leaps towards them. Protection will provide you with a shield when activated, but can also be used on an ally to dash to their location and provide them with a shield as well. Amazonian Prowess gives you a bonus to attack damage and causes your attacks to deal AoE damage when activated. Finally, taking over a teamfight is easy with Wonder Woman's ultimate, Blocking Bracers. Wonder Woman taunts all opponents in an area, forcing them to attack her and leaving them vulnerable to her teammates' onslaught, while she receives a massive boost to her defenses and reflects incoming damage back to her attackers. Wonder Woman's natural tankiness, combined with her mobility and disables, allow her to easily support her teammates in fights and be extremely difficult for your opponents to deal with. Your strongest combo is to initiate a teamfight with your lasso, then following up with Blocking Bracers, you can set up your team's AoE damage. However, Wonder Woman doesn't have very significant damage on her own, so make sure you don't outdistance your team and allow them to take advantage of your ultimate. Remember that protection can be used both offensively as well as defensively, as you leap to an ally to pursue your opponents. Always try to close the distance between you and the enemy team before using Lasso Grab, to try to maximize your chances of hitting the lasso. If you can initiate with Blocking Bracers and save Lasso Grab, then you can immediately follow up your ultimate with the stun from your lasso, resulting in a full 3.5 second disable. Remember that in teamfights you don't have to use your ultimate immediately and can hold on to it to zone your opponents and force them to run while your allies are dealing free damage. In order to take advantage of your supporting capabilities, try out Mind Link and Surveillance Camera for stolen powers to be able to keep an eye on the enemy and track them down. Getting more defensive items will make you almost unkillable, but try out attack power items early and lifesteal to make you a damage threat and force your opponents to fight you. Wonder Woman's indestructibility, team protection, and disables make her a solid foundation for any team. A grand illusionist and stage magician, Zatanna can use her powers to make anything she wishes happen. Zatanna is a combo ranged blaster and support with great kiting potential, but the power to both disrupt opponents and save allies. Her passive is Stage Presence, granting you will regeneration and power armor based on her max will. Skewer summons swords that damage enemies in an area. If an enemy marked with Punish takes damage from Skewer, they will instantly detonate Punish. Dash and Dazzle can slow an enemy target, making it easier to set up the rest of your abilities, or can speed up friendly targets to help them either escape or chase down an opponent. Protect and Punish can provide an ally a shield that scales by Zatanna's will, and if the shield is unbroken, will explode and heal all allies in an area. The Punish side of the spell will reduce an enemy target's healing and then explode after 4 seconds to deal AoE power damage. For the grand finale, Zatanna's most powerful trick is Be a Rabbit in My Hat, transforming an opponent into a rabbit. The target will be unable to attack or use any abilities and will have their attack and power defenses greatly reduced, leaving them extremely vulnerable in fights. With her extremely versatile kit and multiple disables and support abilities, Zatanna provides some of the best control in the game. In the laning phase, you can quickly AoE clear minion waves with Skewer and easily control the positioning of the lane either by pushing your opponent to their tower or holding it at your own. Using Dash on yourself in the laning phase will allow you to quickly harass your opponent with your Punish Skewer combo and then escape safely from any pressure. Using Dazzle on an opponent to slow them can help you set up your combos and land Skewer more easily. But when in large fights, prioritize using Dash on yourself to maintain safe position. It's important to coordinate with your team so that when you use your ultimate on a priority target in fights, they can follow up with their damaging abilities while the target's defenses are reduced and quickly make your victim disappear. While Zatanna has great utility and burst, she only has 2 damaging abilities, so in fights she relies on her teammates' damage. Longer engagements are to your benefit because you can get through multiple cycles of your ability cooldowns and use the utility to control the fights. Early will and will regeneration with imbued artifact is a must, as Zatanna can burn through will quickly with her high costs and low cooldowns to spam spells. Ocular Implant can also be strong for the upgraded slow to your abilities, adding even more utility to your spells. To take advantage of your mobility and disabled super speed is a necessity as a stolen power, while Proximity Mine provides more zone control in fights. The possibilities are endless, and Zatanna can use her superior control to manipulate any encounter. A feral hunter ravaging his opponents and laying waste to the battlefield before him, Nightmare Batman has joined the fray. Nightmare Batman is an energy-based melee hero with great chasing potential who can lock down opponents for his team to devour. His passive is Eternal Hunger, granting lifesteal to all of his attacks. Vampire Batarang is a skill shot that slows your opponents, allowing Nightmare Batman to easily chase down fleeing targets or escape from pursuing enemies. Bat Swarm turns Nightmare Batman invisible for a short duration to stalk his opponents, and deals AoE damage to those around him when exiting from stealth. Savagery greatly increases Nightmare Batman's attack damage, armor penetration, and movement speed when activated, allowing him to both chase down enemies and win any close-range battles. Feral Embrace is the most fearsome ability in your kit. Nightmare Batman leaps to an opponent and suppresses them for 3 seconds while dealing massive amounts of damage. With his mix of stealth, movement speed, and disables, Nightmare Batman can easily pick off isolated targets throughout the game. Try catching the enemy off guard by using Bat Swarm to stealth when they don't have vision of you. Then close the distance for Feral Embrace to pick up kills along with your teammates. With his lifesteal and physical damage output, you can win most 1v1 matchups. However, conserving energy is key, as well as saving Bat Swarm in teamfights so that you always have an option to escape safely or disengage when the enemy is focusing you. Because Feral Embrace disables Nightmare Batman as well as his opponent, always be aware of where your teammates are so that you don't overextend and leave yourself vulnerable. There's many options for which stolen powers you can utilize, such as super speed for chasing down targets. However, comboing Meteor with your ultimate and then using Consume Matter on the Meteor can give you that quick boost of health to survive close encounters. Lifesteal and attack speed work well with Nightmare Batman's abilities, but make sure to prioritize defense to take advantage of your ultimate in teamfights and survive as a melee hero. Be prepared to terrorize your opponents from the shadows with Nightmare Batman. A fearless test pilot turned guardian of the universe, the Green Lantern manipulates his surroundings with the power of his ring. Green Lantern is a ranged blaster with massive AoE damage and poke, as well as great single target power and kiting potential. His passive increases your power for missing will, as well as regains health whenever you earn a kill or an assist. Slam is a single target nuke, and if the target has the Shattered Will effect applied by Missile Barrage, the effect is consumed and Slam deals additional damage to the target for each stack. Constrict greatly slows a single target as well as dealing damage, while the cooldown decreases as other abilities are used, allowing for a spammable slow. Missile Barrage loads up 3 missiles for Green Lantern to fire, dealing AoE damage and applying Shattered Will, which reduces your opponent's power defense. Green Lantern's Light is your haymaker as you create a fighter jet to come crashing onto the battlefield, dealing massive amounts of damage in teamfights, as well as stunning enemies caught in the center. Short cooldowns and 4 damaging abilities make Green Lantern a major threat with high damage output and spammable disables for kiting. In the laning phase, take advantage of your low mana costs and long range with Missile Barrage to poke and wear down your opponents. Always have an escape plan and be careful with your positioning, as Green Lantern has low movement speed and Constrict is only a single target slow, making escape from multiple opponents difficult. When chasing down opponents, positioning yourself between every single attack and ability is extremely important due to your low movement speed. Proper positioning with a short cooldown on Constrict make it possible for you to either indefinitely kite or chase down your opponents. Using Constrict, you can easily set up opponents to get comboed and stunned in the center of his ultimate for easier battles. If you're looking for a little bit more burst potential, grabbing Meteor and Detonate Matter both combo well with Green Lantern's abilities. For items, pure damage can work if you have the team to support you, but otherwise grab cooldown reduction early to maximize spammability and chain constrict your opponents. Overcoming all obstacles, the Green Lantern constructs the tools of his opponent's destruction.